Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, my dear respected brothers and sisters. Now we're going to talk about clip number 5, and in this clip I want to talk about saee. What does saee mean? Saee means to walk between the two mountains, Safa and Marwa. And this has a very important connection with the story of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam and his wife Hazrat Hajj alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam. This action was performed, walking between Safa and Marwa was performed by Hazrat Hajra alayhi salam. What happens is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, he is ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave his wife and child Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam in the barren land of Mecca. There was no water, there was no food, there was no animals, there was no one there was no people there. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to test Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam's love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to leave his wife and child in the barren land of Mecca. And what happens is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, he goes and he leaves his wife and child in the barren land of Mecca where there's nothing there, no one there. And after he leaves them, he starts to walk off. His wife, Hazrat Hajr alayhi salam, she follows Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam and she says, Ibrahim, why are you leaving us over here? He has no answer, he says nothing. Then she asks him again, that Ibrahim, why are you leaving us over here? He has no answer. Then the third time when she asks that, Ibrahim, are you leaving us over here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered you to do so? Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam says yes. And then she says, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not waste us. So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam leaves. And then she is left with Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam as a child. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam leaves her some water. But the water runs out. The heat and the hunger, it kicks in. So Hazrat Hajar alayhi salatu wassalam, in help of water, she needs water, she walks around. She climbs the Mount Safa and she looks for people, she looks for water, but she finds nothing. Then she comes down and then she climbs the Mount Marwa, the mountain of Marwa. Then she comes down and then she climbs Safa again and Marwa again a number of times. This is the reason why we are ordered to copy this act of walking in between Safa and Marwa. So my dear respected brothers and elders, you know, whilst we're walking over there, the last thing that you want to be doing is you want to be FaceTiming, you want to be speaking, you want to be wasting time in idle talk, you want to be focusing. What was Hazrat Hajr alayhi salam, how was she walking in there? What was the feeling while she was walking in there? She was in a state of desperation. So in the same way she was asking for water. In the same way, whilst we're walking in between Safa and Marwa, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, just like you gave water to Hazrat Hajr alayhi salam and her son Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam, Ya Allah, you water our souls with your love. Ya Allah, you water our souls with your love, that we only fall in love with you. And Ya Allah, you water our hearts, that our hearts become soft and they fall in love with you. And Ya Allah, you water our eyes, that our eyes only and only cry in your love. So this is what we should ask for. We should not waste time walking around between Safa and Marwa and just wasting time. That's thing number one. Thing number two, if a woman after her tawaf she starts her menstruation, she's not allowed in the masjid, of course. But the Safa and Marwa, I want you to understand this, Safa and Marwa, the scholars say, although it's connected with the masjid, it's not a part of haram, it's not a part of the masjid. So many people think that after tawaf, if a woman she starts her menstruation, she cannot go into the masjid. This is correct. But instead of staying inside your hotel, or instead of just wasting time, instead of just sleeping all the time because your menstruations have started, what you can do is you can make your way on the outskirts of the masjid, and then you can sit at Safa and Marwa and you can just spend time there remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering lots of different types of zikr, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or you can do not stay in your hotel and do not waste your time and do not just sit in idle talk just because your menstruations have started. And another thing over here is for Safa and Marwa, you do not need wudu. Tawaf, you need wudu. In Safa and Marwa, you don't need wudu as well. So you can sit there, there's not an issue in sitting there. And one last thing is if you cannot get to Safa and Marwa, whilst namaz is being performed outside the courtyard of Haram, you can sit there and listen to the salah. You can sit there and get that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.